Here we are in Totnes. We got off the train from Cornwall for a Halloween night. This is the River Dart going out to Dartmouth, where they say that Brutus of Troy landed. But in those days the river was much further, so we're just going to do a quick walk up the town to the Brutus stone. There's very many legends about who came to this land. Here's another interesting book, Kingdom of the Ark. The startling story of how the ancient British race descended from the pharaohs. So our ancient British race is multicultural, Egyptian, Greek. Brutus is supposed to have gone to a goddess in the temple who had a dream of an ancient land, and he came up this little rivulet. But today this little town is a holiday town, fishing, farming, art, holiday community with a Christian community church and an ancient Normandy castle where people come and have holidays, retire, or have grown up living here. So we're just doing a quick walk up the town now, because we'll be getting on the train again and going on up from Newton Abbot through past Glastonbury to Westbury, where we've got the legends of Glastonbury and the horses, the white horses, all these legends of Totnes, Cornwall, Westbury, Glastonbury. You can find a lot of them on historical websites and books. The more historical tourist viewpoint and the more spiritual, esoteric viewpoint. Here's the Royal Seven Stars Hotel. Well, that actually is symbolic of the ancient Pleiades, which we penned on in the Holy Land project this year. Here's a monument to a traditional English person who went out to Australia in 1861 and walked through Australia and came back again. Here we are walking up Totnes High Street. Here you get a number of, there seems to be problems with the housing at the moment. A huge amount of inflation happened in the last 40 years on housing. Houses went from 13,000 48 years ago to in the range of the near the million. So all the big houses and farms, and the socialists and people never really monitored it enough. So when Brutus is walking up this land from ancient Greece, all those hundreds of years ago, and the battle for land seems to be the battle for ownership. It's continuing on now in this bank system confusion, and here we've got art versus farming, the money versus the freedom, and it all seems to go right back, doesn't it, to Cain and Abel, the two brothers. Seems to be too much family confusions. Here we are, there's a craft shop, bank, sweet shop, bookshop, and the ancient old clock, and ancient old little. Here we have a Methodist church. Totnes is mostly Buddhist, pagan, Methodist and Christian. There doesn't seem to be any mosque. This is what we were planning on in Cornwall, that the Methodists 500 years ago were trying to get into Cornwall and Devon. The Moors of Spain and Portugal and Northern Africa tried to get in here, but the Christians warded them off. These old Elizabethan houses. But the battle for Christianity and Islam has continued. And look, they're building right over it. I'm going to sneak in here. Here we are, we found the Brutus stone halfway up. This is the exact spot that Brutus of Troy was supposed to land in Totnes. The river must have come right up here all those hundreds of years ago, and he was told that he would come to this green isle. Similarly, in this book, Kingdom of the Ark, it says that Scooter from Egypt was told there was a green land, and she landed up in Scotland and went over to Ireland. Here's a bit of history here. The most likely explanation seems to be that put forward by the late High Watkin, author of History of Totnes Priory and Medieval Town, namely the brutus stone, i.e. stone in which an official stood to make proclamations in Elizabethan English to Bruce, derived from the French meant to spread a report to noise abroad. We know that the proclamation were made at various spots in the town. Some Totnesians prefer to keep to the old legend, namely that a certain Brutus, nothing to do with Julius Caesar, who was grandson of Aeneas, a prince of Troy, was escaped from his burning city after having accidentally killed his father, wandered along the Mediterranean coast, eventually landed on Totnes shore. This story is told by the famous 12th century writer called Geoffrey of Monmouth, who said that he translated it from the earlier Celtic sources. The Brutus stone is not mentioned until much later. Another tradition, if that Brutus stood on the stone and proclaimed, "Here I stand and here I rest, and this place shall be called Totnes," this would seem to be an unlikely form of speech for Mediterranean man. Well, there you go. You can check all that. The earliest reference to Brutus stone was found in Hearn's Curious Discourse 1720. It's a fascinating thought that Totnes was actually an ancient port where the ancient Romans or Greeks had come up, or that even ancient Egyptians came here, that were all much more European, multicultural than we realise. And he met these ancient people that could have been giants. There's down there, there's another funny church. Anyway, this is Totnes High Street, and there's the ancient Elizabethan museum. It's Mama Purple reporting from Totnes on ancient history and land rights and financial problems. There's another bank. Craft shop. Money's only digits, so the land should be free and the land belongs to God. This is Mama Purple saying that the Aboriginal traditional Great Spirit owns the land, and we're just legends, spirits blowing in the wind, walking through our own dreams and art and poetry. We're all in the Museum of Life, the great hologram of life, and we should love and bless and forgive and work through our own blessing every moment, not trying to own or hurt.